I'm going to be going into guard behaviour and advanced manipulation. The point is to teach the less obvious mechanics to new and intermediate players, so you might know half of this stuff, but hopefully you learn something new and interesting. And I bet that barely anyone knows about guard turning blind spots. The reason why guard manipulation is important is because guards will follow their patrol until alarm level 5, which puts all guards on alert. And unless you're playing on custom settings, this is a long time. It should be 25 turns until it reaches alarm level 5. Playing optimally, this is a lot of freedom, and with enough agents with high speed, you should be able to clean maps of all safes and objectives before you're in any danger at all. And KO guards will wake up on alert, so for most situations, especially early game, stealth will be your best option, and you want to avoid KOing guards as much as possible, because pinning and dragging guards is a waste of time. And also, understanding the noise mechanics is fairly important. Agent sprinting makes noise in a 5-tile radius, although don't pay much attention to the flashing graphic here, which seems to be at least 6-tile radius. And sprinting noise starts after you've taken a step, not where you start. So only once I step back here does it lure the guard.
I heard something.
Since that was in the 5-tile radius. Also, there isn't a difference in hearing. Like, nothing hears better than something else. If a sound bug is within the noise radius for something, it will be triggered. And again, I think guards make noise in an 8-tile radius while they're walking. This is pretty large, and it's useful to intuitively know this when scouting a level. I actually play with fast mode off, so it's easy to catch when and how many guards are moving in adjacent unscouted rooms. And you should also know how diagonals work in this game. It's quite literally the square root of 2, about 1.41, but the game only shows the AP you have left, rounded down. So in most cases you could think of a diagonal move as 1.5, and moving 2 squares diagonally costs 3 AP, so this goes 7 to 4 AP. This also applies to guard movement and noise, except noise has more leeway and will travel further. For example, an agent sprint has 5-tile radius, which along 3 diagonals is 4.24 units of tile distance, which is not enough for an extra tile, right? Wrong. The noise will reach these 2 tiles here if I sprint here, so that's 4.2.
Did you hear that?
It's spotted that. And okay, on to some manipulation. Guards have blind spots while they're turning. So basically, guards can't use their peripheral vision while turning. You don't need to overthink it beyond this. Peripheral vision still works like normal in every other scenario, it just switches off while they rotate. So I'll actually show this. Here's the original patrol. He's gonna rotate this way, in this diagonal. Okay, so his blind spot is actually here onwards, all up this. That's his blind spot. Not here, because that's adjacent. And technically here, like, here is also a blind spot, but after he takes a step, he'll get spotted there. So Zoo is actually safe here from this guard. Let this go. Just didn't see him. That's the blind spot. So on the turn, when they're turning, the peripheral vision is turned off. Okay, and as much as I love utilizing guards turning blind spots, I actually use sprint toggling much more often. You can only turn sprint on and off at max AP or higher, which means you can do something like this. So I've got 8 AP max. Okay, so I can do this.
I heard something.
I turn it off.
Did you see that?
Okay, just ignore that guy.
What was that?
And go over here. Now, if I didn't do that, this guy would probably be lured over here. This probably wasn't the best example, but still. And One good habit for encumbered agents is to drop items before ending turn. So if you're encumbered here and you're going to end your turn, you just drop an item, and then you end your turn and then you pick it up later. The reason for that is because on the following turn, being encumbered will prevent the option of sprinting because it immediately just reduces your AP by 1. Unless if you use a stim. You can do this, you mess up, you do that,
I heard something.
you sprint again. And unfortunately these techniques are basically useless in Senkaku missions, which is why I believe Senkaku is much harder early on. It's full of drones that don't have peripheral vision, aren't affected by sound, and it's riddled with sound bugs anyway. The good thing is dying drones are silent and some guns are silent. So the flurry gun is silent and all other guns will imply in their description if they are silent or not. You can also hack drones and shoot other drones, but their noise radius is enormous. You need to make sure the sound bugs are hacked or impede. On some more guard mechanics, all guards actually have heart monitors. On Expert Plus difficulty, heart monitors are also conscious monitors, so carrying them raises the alarm by 1. Heart monitors can be destroyed permanently using EMP. Either the EMP items work or Dr. Zoo works. Also, the EMP items make noise in about a 3-tile radius, which will lure guards, but I don't think it triggers the sound bugs. And killing lots of guards is very effective if you're knocking out heart monitors beforehand. Guards don't respawn ever, even at alarm level 6. The exception to this is Enforcers. Enforcers that die will have a new one spawn in the following turn. So if you kill everyone except Enforcers, the worst case scenario is you have a minimum of 3 Enforcers to deal with at alarm level 6, and you can still KO and pin them. They won't respawn from being KO'd. That's it for now. I hope you learned something new. This game has unbelievable level of detail when it comes to mechanics, and this only scratches the surface, but I tried putting in the most useful stuff while keeping it simple.